Hey there, everybody. Welcome to our review of the AGT All-Stars premiere. We're going to react to the new performances from
Mhm.
Terry Fator, Berywam, Bello Sisters, Light
Yep.
Balance Kits. There's a lot to get into here. There are also a lot of reasons to be legitimately upset, angry, irate. I cannot contain myself at these super fans who we are going to
Okay.
rail on for the season.
Listen, these super fans, we are going to be having a conversation about the super fans and if this actually works for this show because AGT, like champions or all stars, they're kind of in a really tough spot when it comes to like fan voting or how they can do this. Because if they kind of just left it up to America, we could all like type in who we want, sort of thing. There are people that have like massive fan bases. Like Terry Fator, he would have been like winning, or Berywam. I mean, they're in the tens of millions of people that follow them. Like there would be no contest, and it would be kind of unfair to people who maybe should have gone through as well, but like maybe just don't have the fan base. But like super fans, who are these super fans? Is probably the audience, but you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like, give us a little more transparency here.
It's time to say the quiet part out loud. This is a screw job. Okay, well, before we go further
How
here,
is this fixed so that Terry can go back to Vegas?
go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We haven't been doing AGT in a while, but, we are back. We are
Yep.
going to be talking through this crazy season, reacting to some of our favorite acts. Like, we may not go through every single person because really, we all have our favorites. We are
Yep.
emotionally invested and or upset by some of what we see week in and week out.
Also, follow us over on Instagram, Matt and Jess TV. Okay, let's just talk about like the main event here, which
Yeah.
is that the Bello Sisters. Listen, I watched this show for like acrobat acts. I
Yeah.
love danger acts, swallow all the swords. I am here for those
Yeah.
acts. Alan Silva. Oh, I love him. I love acts like this. However, that being said, the Bello Sisters, as good as they are, and they were even better than the last time I saw them, they are really good.
Yeah.
This is like all stars. And when you're looking at the all star cast that was here, and you do have people like Berywam who have like, they weren't even in the top three, and they're selling out arenas that are like, look like they're holding like 20,000, 30,000 people. They are the most watched AGT audition ever, 200 million views. How are they not in the top three? Who are these super fans that are voting for this? Like, really?
Okay. I don't want to sound like I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth here because I do think the Bella sisters are really good. I have nothing negative to say about the Bella sisters whatsoever, so don't let anybody get anything I'm about to say twisted. But they should not have gone through to the next round over some of the people who didn't. In particular, Barry Wham, absolutely fantastic, great performance, super high energy, lots of fun. Terry Fator.
I know.
I'm going to just ask
It's
everybody,
shocking.
take a minute and really think about this for a moment, because I did. Who is the most famous ventriloquist in the world? I think it's probably Jeff Dunham. But who is the second most famous ventriloquist in the world? You guys can fight with me on the comments on this, but I think it's Terry Fator. I think Terry single-handedly revolutionized like singing ventriloquism. He brought this to sort of the forefront. I will admit to a certain element of bias here. And this is where I am asking Terry, if you are for some reason not rolling around in your money and watching this video, let me know in the comments if you performed at Little Elm Elementary School like several decades ago, because
Yep.
I have a faint memory. I grew up like 30 minutes from where Terry did, and he even said in his package tonight that he used to perform at elementary schools. I think I saw him when I was really young, a lot longer before he was famous. I'm just throwing that out there. I'm biased. But is anyone out there going to tell me that one of the most successful acts in reality TV history did not have one of the best performances of the night because he did. It was too professional. They couldn't handle it.
No, it really is. And, like they said, he's had back-to-back contracts in Las Vegas, which is, pretty rare for something, like a one-person act kind of thing like this, where he's killing it out there. He's got a massive fan base. He is a winner from the show. And then, even when he came out on stage, it's almost kind of like, why are you here? Like, you are such a legend.
Yeah.
Like, how did we even get you back? Of course, we're going to ask for you, but how did we actually get you here? And I think that Terry loves the show. I think he has a wonderful nostalgic feeling for the show. He won the show. It really put him up to that next platform. He even said, it's very difficult being a ventriloquist. It's not an easy gig to even get people to pay attention to you. He goes on AGT, he wins a show, then he's got these back-to-back Vegas shows. Like, it really launched him. But now he's not like, I'm not too big to come back to, sort of the place that it really kicked off for me. I don't know that they were going to be able to keep Terry for the whole filming of the whole show to go all the way to the end and win it again, because he is working all the time. And I'm assuming he's going to be going back to Vegas and doing more stuff. That he probably was like, yeah, I'll come in and I'll be able to do some of this stuff, but I am, I can't win the whole thing. I can't be here for 2-3 months or how long this is going to film. I just don't have that kind of time. So your super fans may have to just not vote for me.
It could be true. As a matter of fact, I think you're probably right. I think that probably is what happened. Hey, he had time. He wanted to come back, get some publicity, go back, do his other thing. Now, for all of you Terry haters out there, and I'm going to assume for
who are you Terry hater?
We want to know. We want to know your name, your address. No, I'm joking.
Do not put your address.
I'm joking. No, okay. This is where I really would like to challenge you all. Hello, I'm a puppet. Okay, try to do a puppet with your hand. Try to ventriloquize. See, that's really hard.
How you doing?
See, that's better.
Oh, okay. No, I'm terrible at it.
That's better than me, but still, he's really good at that. Then he's also singing. I can't sing that good when I'm not doing that. So let alone while I'm doing that. That is incredible.
I think it was just, and even Simon said it too, he was really surprised with the top 3. And I was surprised as well. I expected Terry to be there. I did expect to see Berywam up there for sure. And then I was kind of like, it could be the Bello Sisters. But I mean, for me, Alan Silva, I love him. When he dropped out of the sky like that, like so close to the floor, the judges, like, my heart fell right out of my chest. I couldn't believe it, even though I should believe it because I've seen him perform on this show so many times now that I was just like, how does he keep getting better and better?
Wow, I
love you,
Alan. Alan is amazing. Alan is like incredible. If I was just sort of sitting here and being like, okay, what are all other things aside, who are the 2 I would think I would probably have really at the top of the list? Terry and Alan are just like next level. A part of it for me, and this is very silly, but there was about a 1-year period. Anytime I heard "This Is Me" from The Greatest Showman, I wanted to throw like the speaker out the window. This was so overplayed, but guess what, everybody? I hadn't heard the song in a little while. It came back around for me when it's like the big powerful notes are coming in and Alan's just like falling all over. It's like, this is perfect song choice. Everything about it just totally worked. It was emotional. I'm so invested in him and I'm so sad. Why?
Listen, I think it's just really hard with this show because you do have all these people who are just the greatest of the greats coming back. That's like, how do you really choose one person over another? And then it really just comes down to taste. Like, I'm not into ventriloquists at all, but I can easily see that Terry Fator is a genius and he's incredible at his craft. Yeah. Like I said, I'm here for the danger act. So I like the Bello Sisters and I like Alan. Yeah. Like that is what I am here for. But then, it's just difficult to sort of separate that because we're all here for different things. Some people are here for the singers, the
Yeah.
dancers. Let's talk about that
Yeah.
golden buzzer from Howie.
Okay, yeah, this is an interesting one because I think one of the common criticisms on this show a lot of the time is, oh, this person's getting ahead because of their story. And there's no denying that what light balance kids have gone through
Mhm.
over the past several months is devastating
Mhm.
and difficult. And the fact they're even there is just frankly incredible. And I don't mind being invested in somebody's, because guess what? Whenever you pick like a singer you like or an athlete you like, odds are it's because you like them in addition to liking their talent.
Mhm.
So while if I was thinking completely like in a vacuum, I probably wouldn't have Light Balance Kids in my top 3 of the show, but just from an emotional standpoint, for just I have no problem with them being rewarded. I am happy for them. I'm looking forward to seeing them again.
Their performance is great. They were really,
Yeah, they were.
really smart with their song choices, with what they were kind of doing with the old school video games. It got me right in my nostalgic feels, all asteroids and everything. It was really great. It's like they hit everything perfect with what they were trying to achieve. It reached a much greater audience because of song choice, and then again sort of that nostalgic into like old school video games and that sort of thing. It all came together really beautifully. I am not mad about that golden buzzer choice.
It did send me into like a little bit of a midlife crisis where at some point during all this nostalgia, I realized that these kids were probably not alive at the time in which any of these games that they were inspired by were playing out on the show.
Okay, so we talked a little bit about the super fans and sort of how that's
Ugh.
all kind of coming together, but I guess we'll get into a little bit more of a discussion about that now. But if you are enjoying this video and you're still with us, we have these types of discussions and
Yeah.
reactions every single week. So make sure you hit that subscribe button to stick with us. Okay.
Yeah.
They do need to be way more sort of transparent about the super fans, who's voting, how many people are voting. Like, is it just the audience? I'm assuming it's just the audience, but they need to be a lot more clear about that. Even if they're like, yeah, it's just the audience. There's 500 people here tonight. There's
Yeah.
1,000 people here tonight. There's 2 people here tonight. I need to know who is there and who is voting that the Bello Sisters are going through over Terry Fator.
What if the superfans are just the light guy named James who's just working behind the scenes with the smartphone and he's just like boop boop? No.
The biggest problem is just how do you bring in fans to vote? Because like we said at the beginning of the video, it is way more difficult to just put it out to America because
No.
people who have built up huge fan bases like Berywam are just going to go through and steamroll all the way to the end because they can go on Instagram or TikTok or wherever, Twitter, and just like, push it out, vote, 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 and they're just going to win the whole show and it won't be fair. However, for me, there just needs to be something a little bit different where it's not like the Bello Sisters, they're going through. And I'm kind of like, what? Why? They are great, but they were not better than Terry. And then we also had Callie in there in the top 3. And I was kind of like, again, I get that America loves to vote for singers.
Yeah.
It is the way that it is. I am kind of on an island in some ways with the Danger Acts, or at least I thought I was. I mean, the Bello Sisters are there. And usually the Danger Acts get screwed. They usually do. That's why, I'm not totally mad that they're going through because I like Danger Acts and they always get screwed. But then it's kind of like, okay, you've got Callie that's going through and she's a great singer, but she's not Berywam. And that's sort of where I am, where there were people that were taking it to this next level where, Callie had gotten better, but she hadn't gotten Berywam better. Does that make sense? Sorry, Callie.
It makes sense to me.
But that's how I feel.
I think Callie was fine for a singer on this show. I think she is a good singer, but
She absolutely is.
she just didn't do anything that made me get out of my chair. That made me we probably wouldn't be talking about her at all if she wasn't in the top 3, just because she didn't make that big of an impression. And to me, I'm going to suggest something really, really radical now that we are so far into this video.
All right, here we go.
Get rid of the judges. And the reason why I say this is
Oh my
because,
God, what's happening?
see,
You wild.
okay, I might be wild, but I'm guessing the whole thing with these like all-stars or champions or whatever else, they like film them in some like weird way. They're not live. NBC's clearly trying to save money and however they want to do this, because otherwise you would have it be live. You would have the audience vote. Yes, like you mentioned, Berywam would get a ton of votes because they have a lot of followers. But, guess what? Life's not fair. So they're going to get a lot
Absolutely.
of support.
They would beat the brakes off of everybody on this show. There's just no way.
Yeah, like that. I'm more than fine with that. But if you're trying to save money, do we really need to hear from the judges at this point? We already know that these acts are good. And I'm not saying that they're bad at what they do or anything else. It's just like, I don't really find that great of a purpose having them there at this point, other than just like to give a soundbite or two. So I would rather do the show live, like minimize the judge presence. You can save money that way, and then everybody wins except for the judges who cash all that money sitting at the table.
Yeah, it's kind of difficult because when it is all-stars or champions, it is difficult to sort of get feedback where people, the judges are like, oh, that wasn't, the greatest performance ever. Like, yeah, Simon will say that here or there. And he definitely said that in Champions to Marcelito at one point when he was right at the finish line and it totally screwed him, which is too bad because he's amazing.
Yeah.
But it really isn't giving a lot because these performances are amazing. So to hear everybody on the panel be like, you're amazing, absolutely amazing, 100% amazing. Next, it's kind of like, okay, what are you adding to it?
That's why you don't have to add anything. You can just just walk off stage, let us vote, like make the show live. NBC saves their money. Everyone wins. We are solutions oriented.
All right.
Okay, well, we will be back, of course, to talk through all of AGT,
Yep.
All-Stars moving forward. Hit that subscribe button so you guys don't miss any of that. We'll see you here next time.